This shit sound like money.
Go that loud and then fuck that vibe. I got a dub. All my boys with me. I'm so high, man. What the fuck?
Hi, hello, howdy. This is Noodlez along with,
Andy.
and we have our producer Q.
You.
What up, though?
Okay,
Happy
pasta.
day.
Happy day.
Nug 9. How are we feeling?
Happy Nug 9.
Whoop, whoop. I'm
Nueve.
excited.
Nueve. What else? 9.
9 with... Oh, I don't know how to say it in any other language, so...
Anytime I can't give anybody 10 stars, I would give them 9. Unless it's like...
Okay. It's always 10 across the fucking boards, but...
Boom.
We'll do that next time.
9.
So yeah, how are you guys?
What's up? Happy whatever day it is.
Happy whatever day you're listening to this. Shout out to all our subscribers, all our listeners. We see y'all. Shout out to the plugs.
Shout out to the plugs.
The plugs.
Shout out to the plugs for real. Is there a plug that y'all want to shout out?
No,
Like,
what the fuck?
No, it doesn't have to be. I'm just
Don't
saying.
be wild.
It's like, yo, it's like this nurse, like she gave me extra band-aids or some shit. Or some shit.
I can't even think of who looked out for me recently.
Though it's like,
Oh, I was celebrating my birthday, and because it was my birthday, we were around a couple plugs. Got a couple nugs thrown at me. I was like, yeah, I'll take this. So, shout out to y'all.
shout 'em out.
That's the shout out.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Plugs, you know who you are. That's it.
Y'all know who you are.
Boom.
But
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Shout
what's
out
up?
to 9.
What's up? ¿Cómo están, gente? How's everything?
We're good. So I feel like winter is coming. Winter is here.
Winter's
Like
here.
it's mad cold. We definitely got our first snowfall.
It's, man, especially with this weather now, it's going to be hot in a little bit. It's going to be back in the 60s feeling like summer.
I mean, we definitely had a peak of 50 right before our most recent snowstorm. So
Yeah.
yeah, listen to what Greta says.
Who's Greta?
Greta?
Yeah, Greta.
Oh my God, one of the pioneers in the climate like movement, if you will. Like the fact that there is major climate change going on. She sailed from Europe across the seas to over here to like prove a point that it's so difficult to even do something like that we were so commonly doing before.
Okay. I thought you were talking about that little...
The girl, yes.
Her?
Don't call her a little girl.
that
The woman.
What, she like 13, 12?
She's a fucking activist. She is a force to be reckoned
Alright,
with.
this young lady.
Who is a force to be reckoned with.
Okay. What's her last name? I forgot.
It starts with a T, and I want to say Thunberg, but I'm
see?
definitely butchering it. So
Then, see,
Do
you
not
don't even
quote
know
me.
her full
she's
info.
like my homegirl, seriously. In my head or not, but we're homegirls.
You know she won one of the Time Persons of the Year?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Which, shout out to her. She doesn't want awards, but she wants us to do better. So we have to do better. Maybe this will be a later topic, but what will be our movement, our slow progress within ourselves to kind of help that movement? You know, I feel like we have to start little by little. Maybe I won't use as many disposable stuff here and there, you know?
Yeah, true. I know. I try and be more, I guess, eco-friendly with just even the little shit like
Right.
going to ATM. It's like, do you want a receipt? Yes, and then you toss that shit right out.
No.
That's what everyone does.
Exactly.
That's what everyone does. I'd be like, no receipt. You can email me or
Yes.
whatever. But
Or show it on the screen. I'll take that
show
real
it on
quick.
the screen. But yeah, I try and save money. That's the only time I'm hitting the ATM is pulling money out for the plug.
Money, honey.
That's it. But
All about the doll
yeah,
hairs,
no.
honey.
Everyone's going with the, like the eco straws and shit like that, and you could taste the straw.
Yes.
Yeah, the paper straws.
Or no straw, right? For some places, Starbucks locations that don't have the straw anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. Ooh, what are we sparking today?
Damn, normally we did this shit early.
Yeah, we kind of, but we were all like asking about how we were doing and shit.
Sorry.
Sorry.
See, it's happening.
Okay, so also full disclosure, I don't remember the name of what we're smoking. All I can tell you guys is it's berry something.
Berry something.
So you'll taste the berry, and I'm sorry that there's no more.
So this might be a sativa hybrid mix.
We don't know, honestly.
Exactly,
It's
I
a
know.
berry.
Ring.
Hello.
We got guests coming.
More buds, more buds. What is the Dutch? If you will, please tell us what the Dutch is.
The
You
Dutch.
threw out the fucking wrapper, so we don't know.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so while he's trying, hello, while he's trying to recuperate the wrapper, it's a Dutch Master, but it's a different type of Dutch Master.
Deluxe.
The silver, grayish
So it has
packaging.
a light gray packaging, not like the normal blue. Vanilla Dutch. Boom.
Yeah.
Hey, hola.
More buds, more
hola.
buds.
No.
It's a party.
Say hola. More guests coming in.
More gas.
Don't worry, it's a buds in a joint. So
Buds in
you're a
the
bud in the
joint. Super excited though because I love Dutch Masters. Y'all know me, mistress of the Duchess or whatever, Madame Duchess, whatever my name is. My
Mistress
mission
Madame.
still remains the same. I gotta be on the packaging.
Yeah, you gotta work on that. You just need to do a photo shoot with the hat on.
Yes, immediately.
Yeah.
But okay, so here we are,
Mhm.
starting our berry siph. So what is
It does taste like a fruity flavor.
This is what I'm saying. I was captivated by the like fruitiness of it, and so the name itself was kind of like irrelevant. As I thought past or back to like what actually happened, then I remembered my friend kept on saying the berry. So I was like, yeah, you're right. It's fucking berry.
Yeah. Yeah, some has like maybe like some blueberry, probably
Maybe
something.
raspberry, strawberries. Who knows? It's
Yeah.
berries.
Yeah, it's very good.
Betty. Jess. So, news. There has been a lot going on in the news right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back a little bit because I feel like
Back into time.
one of the things that is relevant to our topic is what happened with the University of Maryland. So
What happened?
they have introduced this new master's program. It is a Master of Science in Medical Cannabis Science and Therapeutics, which is super dope. It's a 2 years study itself and no thesis required. So I hope that encourages more people to actually want to pursue it, considering that there's no fucking thesis. Like that's that's a game changer.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it covers like basic science, pharmacology, chemistry, medical communication, the delivery itself. So it really does encompass a lot that we need to know as like a thorough advocate in the cannabis community. And I think, hey, it's there. Might as well start taking advantage of it now.
Yeah.
And I hope other schools start following suit as well.
Yeah, I saw one in I don't know if you saw the one in Chicago. There's a community college that already has there's a dispensary I think on campus. I don't know if it was on campus, but they're definitely obviously moving that same stride of just getting more active, like starting in like colleges and stuff like that, and mostly like community colleges have been the ones to like start it off and stuff. Obviously there's a few out there that have like a cannabis class and stuff, but
Right.
or you just have to go to specifically school just to grow or for cannabis related, just in general. So
And I'm extremely happy that it is at like county community colleges, because that's, I think, the most accommodating for just your regular Joe, regular Jane, who is working a full-time job but still trying to get a class or two involved. But it's difficult because I feel like there's such a weird stigma too with community colleges. I don't know if that's something we want to deep dive into or not, but I went to one and I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. Made me work harder. It kind of sparked the love of education that I currently have and the passion that drives me now. Like, I appreciate that. I needed that moment.
Yeah. Like the college is Oakton in community college, and they're doing 2 new healthcare certificates, which is a cannabis dispensary and patient care specialist. And what is yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And that's aside from like Oaksterdam, right? Like, hello, one of the founding fathers of cannabis education. Like, we'd be remiss if we did not mention how dope that school is. Oaksterdam. Shout out to them.
Oaksterdam.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. Side note, I did take a little piece of an edible, so I don't know if that's kicking in.
Yes, we did take a shout out to that plug.
Shout out to that plug.
But
Whoever made these
homemade
shits.
brownie edibles.
These shits are fucking. It's just the
Life
combo
is
I'm
great.
getting. Yeah, it's like a nice little 1-2 combo right now.
And then with the berry blend on top, it's like the perfect dessert.
This shit has cornbread in it.
It does not have cornbread.
It has
We
cornbread
spoke
in
about having cornbread on a side.
Does it have cornbread in it?
No cornbred.
No, it doesn't have cornbread in it. Oh, I thought you said it has cornbread in it.
No,
that's why I was
that's
like,
the
oh,
next
this shit
project.
is smacking. Yeah, I swear to God. Nah, this definitely has a corn fucking bread texture in there, which is fucking fire.
It was a great brownie with no cornbread or a hint of corn in it, but
Okay.
I mean, perspectives, right?
So what
Perspectives.
Is the brownie? So what is the brownie?
It's like
Minus
bread.
yeah,
Chocolate bread.
Okay, minus the chocolate.
It's not fucking cornbread. Where's the corn coming from?
I'm just saying, minus the chocolate. It's cornbread.
So, yeah, back to the regular scheduled program.
Yeah. Just side note.
Shout out to that plug, though, because the brownie was good.
Brownie.
It is really good. Super moist, too. It was great.
Yes.
It was great. I hate a dry brownie or a dry edible. Like, why? What am I eating a rock for?
The edibles. I haven't tried the Rice Krispie. That's another one. Have you tried that? You tried it,
Oh,
right?
I did. Okay, because, it's a major side note. Andy and I went to a smoke session.
Oh, how was that? Not on there.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But that was dope because we tried some good-ass edibles. And one of them was, for myself, like a Fruit Loops Rice Krispie treat. It was bomb. It was bomb. It was great. I still think about it. It was good. We also got, or I got Snickerdoodle cookies, which I'm a sucker for cinnamon, so I really enjoyed those.
Yeah, it was good. There were 250 milligrams each cookie, and then
With your morning coffee, it was superb.
oh shit! So that was a good balance then.
It was great. I was just living life, smoothing through everything I needed to get through. Productivity at its finest.
Yeah. Nah, see, I can't take it in the morning. I gotta like, just like microdose it. Basically.
And we need to
Like
have
one
that
hit
as a
there.
nug for future because I definitely want to talk about microdosing. It's such a big rave. We see that in other psychedelics. Have you heard of that within cannabis? Have you done that within cannabis? Have you read about it within cannabis? I want to talk about that.
Well, it's obviously like, with me, if I smoke in the morning, I'm not gonna want to do shit. So I gotta try it to see how it work. Like a little here, a little there, and that's like you gotta start small.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there was a time where I was working. I took a big ass hit, and I'm like, okay, all right, this should be good. And then because it was Friday, it was like, fuck it.
Keep it moving.
And then 15 minutes later, customer walks in. It's like, Oh shit! Now I'm feeling it.
Right when the customer comes
Yeah,
in.
right when the customer comes in.
Perfect timing.
Boom.
All right, let's go back to the smoke session now.
Smoke session. Yeah.
You've been to other smoke sessions before.
Yeah, I've been to other ones. Yeah.
How did you feel about this one? What did you like?
They have some really good weed.
Yep.
Really good weed. Yeah, every table's different. You gotta check out everyone's shit.
You had a really cool buy too.
Yeah.
Care to share?
Oh yeah. What did I have? I got well, I haven't tried it yet, but Hennessy infused cannabis, cannabis infused Hennessy.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a nice bottle.
Super cool.
Yeah, a little pricey, but I gotta check to see if it's worth it. But
which you would imagine with like a certain alcohol for that to be infused like with cannabis, like that's already gonna be a little bit upcharge, if you will.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
We'll have to get an update soon about that.
Yeah, we'll get an update soon. Don't worry.
Yes. Yeah, same. I've gone to different smoke sessions too. I liked it. Music was lively. There was different rooms, hallways, different vendors.
Yeah.
What did you need? Did you need your actual flower? Did you need your cartridge? Did you need the wax? Like, what exactly did you need?
Yeah,
It was available to you.
Whatever.
Right.
You need
Infused food, like not just the like, you know, the desserts that we commonly refer to as edibles, but actual food.
Yeah, I got
like
me a
that
plate
was so
last time
dope.
I was there. It had a little outdoor area and stuff, so chill.
Can't be mad at it. Cannot be mad at that.
Yeah.
And one of the vendors was telling us that they were doing the infused coquito, which I think that would win any coquito competition, honestly. Like an infused one, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
That's a game changer. Automatically, you win, hands down. You better not fuck it up, though.
Yeah. What happened?
I said, I'm not fucking with that.
Nah?
With coquito?
I'm not fucking with that infused. No infused liquids, bro.
Infused liquids?
Nah.
It's a dangerous substance.
You tell me the infused water, right?
Yeah, that was CBD, though.
Yeah, CBD.
That was CBD,
It's
though.
not bad with CBD.
You imagine that you at the gym thirsty as hell, grab the wrong bottle of water. You drink that.
Nah, but it's CBD. It's not THC.
If anything, it would bring you down from your high, the CBD one. But if you have the THC one, like that infused, yeah, that's a whole different ballgame.
He's like, nope. Nope.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I've had some what is it? Some like weed whiskey. You never had the weed whiskey?
Weedski. Shout
Weed
out
ski.
to them. That was really
They
good.
had the weed ski. They had the weed wine too. The weed red wine. Yeah. Nah?
Yeah.
No, you gotta speak up. You gotta speak up.
Oh, I said that's two downers. Like wine gets you like mellow, and then weed also, so it's like a double down.
Double down.
Yeah.
Trying to get hyped, and that's not the one that's gonna get you hyped. That's a perfect,
Super chill out.
right? Netflix and chill. It's like raining, it's snowing.
Yeah.
Pop that bitch out. Life is good.
It's got Disney Plus now.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, but that was good too. And then the honey, the weed honey.
There's so much cool stuff out there, like literally.
You can
And
do anything.
I'm mad that like it's not as like marketed in, if you will, like in dispensaries like it is in the West Coast, right? Like in the West Coast, I was really surprised to even see K-cups infused with THC. Like, your coffee K-cups,
Yeah,
you know what I
Keurig
mean?
cups. They
Like,
got the CBD cups now.
I had an Arnold Palmer drink that was like half lemonade, half iced tea, and it was
Half THC.
infused. Could have been half THC.
Yeah.
Half
50
tea iced tea? No.
THC in. I don't know.
It's not good. It's not
No,
good.
no.
It's not good. We failed epically.
No.
But yeah, so, and we need that more here. Like, so we need to really call our representatives, figure out shit. I'm talking about the Garden State. Other states are more progressive.
Shout out to Garden State Hemp.
Shout out to Garden State Hemp.
Boom.
Shout out to Garden State. Period. Murphy, we need you to do better, my brother.
Yeah.
Like, act now. Okay, so I want to go to our word of the day, right? Like a new word that we learn. And I was doing some research, and I came across this word that I never heard before, and I'm wondering if you guys did. Let's see. It's called Gasper.
Gasper?
Yes. Have you heard of Gasper?
Nah.
So it's basically...
Is that Casper all gassed up?
No. That's going to be a hard no.
Casper on gas?
So it's actually a hand-rolled joint or a cigar, a cigar. Which I didn't really realize that. No, it is a cigarette, sorry. A gasper is another term for a hand-rolled joint or cigarette. It's an older term, usually used by older generations, but it references the sensation that you're gasping for breath after taking a particularly large hit off a joint, spliff, or cigarette. It usually refers to something rolled with particularly cheap and or low-quality product. Why would you smoke that shit? But I did like how it came from gasping, like that word itself. Like, I like the word.
Like, you take a hit and then...
It's like when you smoke that Reggie and it's like... She give me the hiccups.
Nah, that's... You're trying to take in all that negative air. That's it.
Why would they make that?
No.
But the term is out there for those who do. So...
I wonder how many gaspers out there.
How many gasperettes or gaspers?
Wait, is that like a product they sell? Or?
No, it's a term to use to like refer to any like hand rolled joints or cigarettes. So anything that's like hand rolled, an older I guess term that's used. Oh no! Oh, I would never promote such a thing. No.
Sheesh.
So yeah, that's our word. Do you have a word? Do y'all have a word?
Not that I can think of right now.
All right, next time.
Next time.
Smooth.
But if one comes up,
don't randomly shout it though. Don't have ADD, please.
Nah, the people would be like, "You're," and then the head nod.
I already see it randomly happening.
I just did it.
No, but like in the middle of the next topic.
All right, we'll see.
So our topic for today is school, education. I feel like, again, this is a very large topic, but there's so much that we can cover, and we're not going to cover it all. There's 3 things I feel like we should speak about. I think these are very interesting topics, if you will. So my first one is smoking. How did you find your smoking buddies at school? Like, that's one thing I feel like we need to talk about. Like, that's always an interesting situation. I think we should also discuss like faculty's reaction. So I had certain situations where the faculty would bring to my attention that I either smoked or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why? How is this impacting my grade? If it's not, why are we discussing it?
Yeah.
So I also want to discuss research, like the actual platform education can be used to kind of enhance research. I feel like there's a lot in the cannabis world that we don't really have like scientific proof to back it up. We need to get that proof. I feel like we're so advanced in so many other ways that we cannot be advanced with one of the best founding medications that we still use today to cure many remedies.
Cures everything.
Right.
That's it, basically.
So what do we want to hit first?
You can start. Shoot, if you wanted to start there. But it's like, well, it's like so frowned upon. I'm just going to start with, obviously, the medicine part about it. But
so the research, the last.
Yeah, the research. It's just, there's even a lot of like research that's still like working on now about it, where it's like, it's a plant where it's every single part of it is used for something positive medically. Like, in some type of way, whether it's broken down all the way to, you know, just pure THC or just concentrate or to flower, just however you want to use it. How everyone has their preference. That's it.
Agreed. So full disclosure again, my undergrad degree is in psychology. Mm-hmm. I went to school in South Carolina. I won't disclose the school because I'm not trying to have you motherfuckers find me. But I went somewhere in South Carolina, and it's not a progressive state, let's be honest. So it was very interesting, certain obstacles, if you will, that I had to go through. Yeah. I had 2 major theses, I guess, if you will, that I had to write, and I wanted both to be cannabis related. The first teacher or professor shut it down. Let's talk about something else. Maybe you could do caffeine. So I ended up doing caffeine, and I think exercise, how that impacts your day.
No.
I know. Which I was really mad because my main objective was to kind of have a study of cannabis, but then you also have to realize it's South Carolina. It's not a legal state there. I'm also running the risk of outing somebody too, and I know that's the main reason why I wouldn't get as many participants. Mm-hmm. Nobody would want to have that kind of full disclosure with me unless we're actual smoking buddies, and then I feel like I have to kind of beg you, please just do this. Yeah. It's for the culture. The second one, it was the same thing, and that was my bigger project. That was the senior project, right? Yeah. And I could not do a cannabis project, and I wanted to do a cannabis research project so badly because, again, my passion, I'm very, I guess, in tune with what drives me. Cannabis is one of the things that drives me, and I would love to research that more. And that wasn't something that you could do. So that's a barrier too. If you have students willingly able to research their colleagues, their other students or colleagues, I wanted to say, but it's just really your other peers. If you're able to get that research out there, yes, it's a smaller pool quantity, so maybe it doesn't mean that much, but it does mean something, and it could spark a fucking seed or spark a thought into somebody else's mind to be let's do this kind of research project in a larger scale. Yeah. Let's learn more about what this can do. On a different, again, microdosing. Psychedelics, if that gets you to a point where you're more cognizantly aware, imagine what cannabis can do and other components of cannabis, the CBD part, the CBG part, which I saw helps with depression. I was reading one of those articles that said that. I don't know. We don't have a fucking study to prove that. Yeah.
It has to be out there somewhere.
There has to be more. There has to be more that gets done. But I feel like we should talk about smoking, peers. How was that? How did you find your smoking buddies? The plug, that's always difficult in a new area, without obviously giving too much away.
Well, with me, it was I went to school with my one of my best friends, and then just the cats that were in my grade, these Dominican cats. That's all I could say. But they were mad. They were mad cool.
Here's the plugs.
Something.
Nah. Huh? They
were the plugs of something.
Oh man. But but yeah, with a few of them, and then there's a few people that smoked. A lot of people that smoked just in school. When the people who I hung around with obviously cross paths with other people that smoked weed, and then it's you just build different obviously bonds and experiences with people. And there was one time behind the dorm in the back almost by the woods area, there's 4 trees bunched up together, so inside is a little circle. You could do a little circle there. All of a sudden we're in there, and we see people walking up, and we think it's security. And then that closer, it's 3 of them. Oh shit, they brought backup.
Was it fucking security?
Then they pulled up and it was just these dudes in my grade and shit. I'm like, oh shit, is this your spot too? He's like, yeah, this is our spot too. But and then it was just a huge ass life there.
Nice.
But
those are the great moments, the mystical moments.
yeah, and then but yeah, those were the first ones who I started smoking with, and then yeah,
Okay,
obviously you had your plugs in school and shit. Everyone had their plug in school.
You always had to have not only like one, like a couple plugs. You know?
Yeah.
What if one was out of town?
Mm-hmm.
In class, I have to respect your school too.
This one's off campus. This one's off campus.
Yes, you always have the off-campus ones.
Yep. Yeah.
I went to school in Virginia for a year, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
Because that was when I feel like Facebook didn't have all our fucking parents and family members on it. So I was a little wild, I won't lie. And I definitely posted on there, like, because there was hella, like, people from that school in Virginia that followed me. Yo, where's it at? I need to know where it's at.
Yeah, right. Yo, where the weed at?
And it's skeptical
In your
in a
status.
way. In my status. Exactly. That's exactly how I
seen that
posted
shit?
it. It was so
Yeah.
wild.
You ever seen that shit? The memories on
I'm
Facebook.
horrified at every memory.
When it pops
Ugh.
up.
The worst is when I see somebody post like, yeah, come shop, or like they post mad weed. And, them niggas is crazy.
Cause I know that shit was on my MySpace. It was like, what?
Easily. But those were the days, you know, like that. Nothing compares to those times.
Yeah,
like
with my holographic SpongeBob.
on your MySpace.
The Salvadorian, the fucking, the mean SpongeBob and the holograph. You know they had the fucking
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
the lights and shit.
I do miss having like a song being like played immediately as soon as somebody goes on a page.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Like even on our Instagram, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Play this shit first.
Check out my Instagram. That was the shit.
That was dope. That was so fucking dope. So, put it out there like a wild girl. And it's weird because I am a female, so I don't want the creeps to come out too. Like, oh, let me hang out with her one-on-one because I had creepy moments. For example, this one plug off campus really wanted to get to know me. So my boy's like, yo, exchange numbers. And I'm like, okay, what is this life gonna hurt?
I don't know.
It was the worst move I could do.
See?
I went, he picks me up. I went. The first thing he does is to get more gas in his car, but he leaves the car running, and I am horrified. I'm like, are you going to turn off the car? Like, no, we're going to leave this running. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, if I blow up in your presence, I haven't even fucking smoked. Like, so strike one already.
Yeah.
Then we go to what I believe is the trap house. I didn't actually go in because I was like, oh no.
Yo.
Like, no thank you.
She.
Or
You gotta be out from there. You in and out.
so all he wanted to do was smoke in his car, and I was like, okay, you could drop me off. Like it's fine. Like I'm truly not pressed. Like, oh, like all is gravy. Like you do not have to do too much. Honestly, like it's really no big deal. I was over it. And that I think was probably one of the worst experiences I had in Virginia. But there were other horrifying moments, but then there were also other marvelous moments. A dude was trying to get to know me and brought me some Bali. Yes, that's really nice. I appreciate the gesture. We don't actually have to have a conversation.
That's all
Sorry
you want.
that you thought that.
Was that all you wanted? Just a little bit of Buddha at the end of it.
Because it was difficult to find the plug before I found my homies. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Rel. Money Rel. That is my fucking brother. I fucking loved him. It was a group of us, mainly guys, really. And the first day I met him, he was there. He was like, yo, He had a code name for himself. I don't remember his code name. He was like, don't refer to me as Rel. Big. But here's my number. You get into some shit, you just call me. Fine, no problem. Like, I remember that like yesterday. It was so great. Until this day, we still speak on a fucking regular. Like, I smoked with his grams. I've smoked at his like home. I've been to his home. Like, I know his family. Like, he is literally like a brother to me. I fucking love him. But he, until I met like the homies who like really can help me, like the struggle was fucking real.
Shit. At one point, everybody had, even at one point, I was the plug. But not
Whoa.
even like, yeah.
Takashi nining yourself.
No, not like that. I was like, yo. It's like, yo, you need some Buddha? Yeah, they were asking, you need some Buddha? It's like, yeah.
So you triage the moment.
Yeah.
You can't call yourself a plug for just being like the liaison.
Yeah, but it was in my closet.
So you were. Wow, Andy the fucking plug.
Yeah, I had like 2 grams. Like, yo, breaking it up in 5s.
Dog, what?
Yeah, $5.
But at least you were making some money.
$5. Just to say I got 5 on it again.
Easily. It's a cycle. It's a cycle for a smoker. In South Carolina, it was a little bit more difficult to find a plug. But I found it on Twitter at first.
Twitter?
The fucking odds. Can
Twitter
you believe?
dealing?
It's one of my favorite playgrounds. But I found it there. And then I met the other, like, off-campus plug, and R.I.P. to him. But he was, like, my plug, like... Yeah. Shout out to him. He
The
fucking
plug
looked out.
There's the plugs, and then there's the plug.
The fucking plug. He hated me because I always wanted to speak to his plug. But, I mean, it was always love at the end.
See, that's what it is. It's always their plug.
I'm like, yo, if you're getting it like this, who are you getting it from? I want to talk to that person.
Oh, man.
But I loved him. He was great. We actually had him smoke. So we were heavy into, me and my homegirls, our activist crew, into like rolling our own cigarettes. So one time he pulled through. We were like, yo, just roll your own joint. Make it look like a cigarette. Blah, blah, blah. No big deal. So he goes and fucking drives off. He comes and calls us like the next day, and he's like, yo, I got pulled over. They stopped me and everything. Like, this is the first time I ever got busted by the cops.
Oh, shit. He got arrested?
Yo, I felt so bad. I mean, I'm laughing now just off the strength, but like...
Off the strength.
I've obviously felt bad. I'm human. I felt bad, but like, it is hysterical. We're like, yo, you're not going to get caught. It looks like a cigarette. What do you mean?
Whoa. Damn.
So that was that.
That wasn't good.
That was that.
No, that was not good.
He knows it was love at the end, man. Just relax. Like,
he's like, here, get this one out of the way. Damn.
Like, rest in peace, though. He left a daughter behind, so
Oh, shit.
I hope she's good. I hope she's good. Positive vibes to our fallen soldiers.
Positive thoughts.
For sure. But it's always so difficult to find a plug in a new area. But it's a fun adventure, I have to say. It's a really fun adventure.
I don't think it's not going to be a long adventure either. You
just got to go to the right places, talk to the right people, and like not recklessly either.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Don't like, yo, where's the weed? Like, have some common sense and decency, people. Like, you go up to somebody who could potentially be a plug. You don't just say that.
Yeah. No.
I mean, those are my two thoughts.
Yeah, just roam around. That's it.
I've been successful thus far, finding plugs randomly in new places. So I don't know if you've had any weird faculty interactions because of your smoking.
Nah, not that I know of. Just
Okay.
mostly security.
That one time that you thought it was security?
No, but it was security.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, there was a few times.
when you had it in your closet?
Nah, it wasn't in my class. It was all everything was always outside, siphons or something. That was out. But one was mad cool. This cat Gino, that was his name.
Nice,
But
Gino.
He'd come around on duty or whatever. He's like, hey, yo, security's coming.
What?
Yeah, he was the man. He was the man.
The lookout.
He didn't give a fuck. With his the guy on duty with him and shit. The young cat. It's like, hey, he's like, yo, security's coming. Yo, keep that shit down.
Those are shout out to those people.
Yeah,
Those are the
so-
like MVPs.
Shout out to the security plugs.
Security plugs,
Yeah.
police plugs, just anything.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've had my interesting share. I like to ruffle feathers. What can I say? It's just in my nature. I don't know how to combat that.
Well, yeah, you locked yourself up.
What?
You locked yourself up.
I locked myself up.
Yeah, you locked yourself up to like the door, like to the tree, or you're on campus or something, or like what?
Oh, not heavy protesting. I don't know if
Oh.
that's what you're meaning.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done protesting, yeah.
Say ruffling.
Ruffle feathers, like it's
Yeah.
it's a term you say, like
Yeah, I know.
fight against a man.
Exactly. That's fighting against the man.
Fighting against the man. No, this was like before like my actual, because in South Carolina I was like the hardcore activist, if you will. In Virginia, not so much. In Virginia, though, I was again a little reckless. I posted a picture where I was smoking out of my piece. They called me down. Dog.
Wait, what?
I was already reckless. I know.
Wait, how'd they see it?
That's the other problem. So I'm confused because I'm like, I'm very strict. I've never had my shit public. I don't like to keep any of my personal pages really public, right? So I had it like private. I did not know how they saw the picture, but they had it printed out and they're like, is this you? Well, no shit, Sherlock. You see that's my name on there. Like,
Yeah.
what are you trying to get at right now? Well, you can't be smoking on campus. And I'm like, I'm not. When in fact I smoked on the rooftop.
So you were above campus?
Above campus.
Not on
so does that
campus?
really count? I'm not saying I'm above the law. I'm just saying I was above everything. You couldn't really tell. Honestly. We got locked in, if you will. We couldn't get out of the rooftop access. So we had to call one of my homies like, yo, you have to do this on a sneak tip. Watch out, but you have to unlock us. Like,
Oh shit.
but it was so cool. That was such a dope spot to smoke. We would smoke on the rooftop. I don't know if people still do that, if they know that you could do that. But we'd smoke there. We would smoke on the street, right in front of the fucking school, on the main street, just at 10 p.m. in this rural area in Virginia. It was dead city. Nobody was there. So we would smoke literally just walking down the street.
Yeah, we just smoke on campus, and late at night.
Yes.
Our freshman year, that was the best. Freshman
No
year
big
was
deal.
the best year. Just walk on campus, smoke. That was the L walk, and then, well, you couldn't even do. We had a old it was like an old garage, like a little smaller storage building, near the end of campus. And there was a tree there with a bench, and then people just group up there to smoke and everything. Obviously, all that was taken down because of construction and stuff. So, but yeah, that freshman year. That was the best time because you could smoke anywhere, and you were basically fine. But now it's like people are more I guess they do it like out in public. Depends on where, but you smell it now more often out in public.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
more
it's
common.
like yeah.
It's much more common. And you're on a school campus, let's be real. My school in South Carolina, they banned smoking on campus, like even like cigarettes.
Yeah.
We have all these gazebos scattered around campus and nobody gets smoke in it. Oh, don't dare, because it contaminates everybody's air. We're in a fucking gazebo, like, and the gazebos aren't even like in your pathway. They are farther away from the pathway. So it's not even like when you're walking just to get to class, you're going to get a waft of smoke. Yeah, I mean, maybe if the fucking wind is blowing in that direction, yeah, sure, you will. But otherwise, it's not in your path of walking.
But yeah, and that's funny because I just recently went back to campus and then smoked in the gazebo there.
You see?
That's funny.
You see?
Yeah, good time.
Great times.
Yeah.
Great times. I don't regret it. I feel like I had hella fun.
Yeah.
I met really cool people, really cool smoking friends.
Yeah. Smoked with the younger alumni. No, the younger brothers. Since I was considered alumni still.
I'm sure that was a bonding moment.
Yeah, it's dope.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I still, one of my favorite people. Still one of my favorite smoking buddies from down there. And she's a Jersey girl.
Oh, shit.
The irony of it all. Jersey girl, we met in South Carolina. Another story for another time.
Yeah.
Another time.
Another time.
Another time. Alrighty. So now, I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to add about anything that we discussed.
No, I'm good.
Any of our buds would like to add anything about school and their interactions with Allie?
Well, Q just left.
But it's always fun. It's always memorable moments. Walking down the high path.
The college path.
The high path.
The higher learning.
And that it is. That it is. All right, so now to our quotes. To bring this to an ending. Do you want to go first, or should I go?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh. Why is marijuana against the law? It grows naturally upon our planet. Doesn't the idea of making nature against the law seem to you a bit unnatural?
Yes, especially if it's a natural component.
Bill Hicks.
Nice. Facts. And that's a factual quote.
Yeah. Natural planet. That's it.
It's a natural component. And
That's what it
if
has
it
to be.
has all these great advantages,
That's it. Yeah, for a natural planet.
why aren't we not using it? And we're trying to be eco-friendly. Stop the pills, produce more weed, and we're out here.
There's more hemp, and that's it.
And different like variations of it.
Yeah. It's gonna last longer. It's gonna take a lot faster to grow.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
That's it.
Mine is from the Honor Francis Young, the DEA Administrative Law Judge in 1988.
Voila.
1988, and is the DEA Administrative Law Judge. Honor Francis Young. Had to just repeat that. In strict medical terms, marijuana is far safer than many foods we commonly consume. For example, eating 10 raw potatoes can result in a toxic response. By comparison, it is physically impossible to eat enough marijuana to induce death. Marijuana, in its natural form, is one of the safest therapeutically active substances known to man. By any measure of rational analysis, marijuana can be safely used within the supervised routine of medical care. That's September 6, 1988, in a ruling.
Damn.
Marijuana rescheduling petition.
Shit.
You're saying 10 raw potatoes are worse. And that's something you see every day.
Yeah.
10 raw potatoes. The toxicity of that is worse than actual cannabis. I mean, that says something. And that's... Did I mention the DEA? Just wanted to highlight that one more time. That should say something, folks.
Yeah.
Well,
facts. Still facts 30 years
facts.
later.
Facts coming
32 years later, basically. Yeah.
1988. So, yeah. And that's all, folks.
And that's it.
That's it. And
For 9.
I'm Noodles.
Stay in tune.
Thank you to our listeners.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to them. Shout out to our subscribers.
My shit.
Shout out. Shout out to the plugs, all plugs, including the edible ones.
Yeah, exactly. Them edible plugs. Yeah.
Every plug out there. We love y'all.
Night night.
You can follow me at Canoodles, C-A-N, and then Noodles with a Z at the end. That's Endy. And then you could follow Buds at Buds in a Joint Pod. That's Buds in a Joint Pod, folks. And then you can also follow Q Dubs Production.
Mr. Q.
Give him a follow. Shout him out. And thank you. Bye.